Hey everyone, in this video we are going to talk about modules in Angular framework. So in this video we are going to talk about what exactly are modules and how we can create multiple modules in Angular. So what are the benefits of using module in an Angular application? And we are also going to make some further steps in our e-commerce application. Hey everyone, this is Kamran and I'm a full stack web developer who is working for in AngularJS for a long time, and in this series of video I'm going to teach you how you can build your own application in Angular framework. So till now I have created a basic project of Angular. If you haven't seen that video, I will highly recommend you to go and watch that video so that you can understand the whole Angular framework. And I would like to request you to hit the subscribe button down there, so you will get the all Angular related videos on your feed and you will be able to learn the web application development. Now let's get started with modules. So what exactly are modules? So modules are the topmost entity of an Angular application. So let's say if you want to divide your application into different parts, divide them into modules. In our example, we are going to have two different parts, one for the users which will be shown to the normal users, and one will be for the admin panel. So we are going to divide our application into two different modules. First will be the user and the next will be the admin. So what will be the benefit of dividing the whole application into modules? First thing will be the folder structure will be very easy to understand. So second biggest, it will be easy for a developer to make changes in any of the components of a module. And the most useful application of a module is you can use lazy loading using modules. So let's say if you have two different modules, and what you can do, you can load a particular module as per your need. So let's say admin is logged in your application, so you don't have to load user and admin module both for the admin. You just have to load one of the modules which is relevant for the what kind of user is logged in your application. So let's first look into the folder structure, how we are going to place our modules. So now in this source folder, in the app folder, you can see we have already created components folder in the last video. Now we are going to add a new folder inside this name as module, and we are going to place all our module inside that. So let's try to create a new module, and then you will get an idea how it will look like after we create a module. So in order to create a module, we are going to use the same command of ng and generate, and for module we have to pass m. So m stands for module, and you can simply pass whole module as well. Like instead of m, you can write module, and then you have to pass the folder and the module name. So folder will be modules, and inside that I'm going to pass the name of the module. So that will be admin. So first we are going to create an admin module, and then we are going to look into the user module. So let's create that. And now we have to keep in mind, if we want to add the routing part of the module inside this through this command only, then we have to pass another parameter name as routing. So dash routing will create a routing folder inside this module as well. So let's hit enter. So now you can see here that this command have created two different files. First one for the routing and one for the module. So let's see this in the folder. So inside this you can see that the module folder is created. Inside modules we have this admin folder, and we have this admin route and admin module. So let's open this admin. So this module file is exactly same as the app module which we have seen in our first video. So if you haven't seen that video, I will highly recommend you go and get the basic idea of how the module file looks like. I'm not going to get into much detail because I have already did it. So yes, let's see the routing file, and this is also similar to the app routing file. Now what we can do, we can create a new component inside this module. So for creating a component in a particular module, there are two different ways. So first is you can create a component inside that module folder. Then in that case, that component will be added to the nearest module. So other way is, while creating that component, you have to pass the module name as well. So let's try to do that. So let's try to create a new component inside this. So ng generate component, and inside this module folder I'm going to create a new component which will be admin only. So that this will create a component name as admin, and I will also pass module as admin. This will tell this command that you have to create a new component inside this admin module. So in this logs, you can see that the component is created, as well as the command has updated the admin module, as I have passed admin as a module. Now let's try to do one thing. We can add this admin component in the admin module, and we are going to display this admin component inside this module. So for that, what we have to do, so for you have to remember, for each of the module we have this routing file. So we have to define this route inside this routing file. So for route, let's not get into the deep of this route. Let's just define a basic route inside this. So inside this, you just have to create an object. You just have to pass two things. So you have to pass, first thing will be the path on which you want to load this component and the name of the component. So path will be path, and here you have to just pass an empty string, and you have to mention the component name as well here. So component, and here you have to pass the component. So in order to pass the component, you have to import that component, right? So you have to import here. So import, and from, you have to import it from slash component. And once you import this and you write a over here, it will show the suggestion that admin component, and admin component, that admin component you have to pass over here. So this is the basics of routing. So what this will do, this will load this admin component on path hyphen. So whenever we are going to call this admin module, we are going to load this admin component over here. So now in our Angular application, we are by default loading this app.module, right? So instead of loading this module, we have to by default load this admin module in order to see this admin module, right? Similar to what we have did in the admin routing, we have to load this admin module inside this app routing. So in this app routing, what we are going to do, we are going to defaultly load this admin module. So let's add a object over here, and here also you have to mention the path. So path will be empty, and here instead of component, we are going to load a module. So for that, we are going to say load children. From here, we have to pass a function, and function will then return a module. So let's pass a function. This is our function, and we have to say import, and we have to pass the path of that module. So that will be slash modules slash admin module. And inside this file, we have to load the module. So what we can do then, and here we have to return the module. So module dot admin module. So I will zoom out a little bit so you can see the whole line clearly. So now this will load the admin module by default, and in our admin module, we are already rendering the admin component, right? So before seeing the output on the UI, we have to make sure that we are loading the correct thing in the app component. So in this app component, we are loading this component. Instead of that, we have to load the route, because we are defining the routes over here, but we have to tell the component that you have to show this route, right? So for that, we are going to use a router outlet. So here just have to define router outlet in the app component. So this means the routing part will always be displayed over here. So you will see this main component, app product, and then you are going to see the routes. And in the routes, we have defined that we have to show this admin module over here. So on the output, you can see that we have this main component and the product component, and this is the new module which we have rendered through our routing. In this admin module, we have this admin component, and this admin component is displayed over here. Now let's try to understand what exactly we have done in this app routing. So in this app routing, we have loaded this admin module. So this is what we called as lazy loading. So when this route file will be called, these modules will not be loaded unless we call this path. So let's say if I'm going to add a new module inside this app routing, then whenever we are going to call that particular path, the corresponding module will only be called, and rest of the things will not be ever loaded. So let's try to add a new module and try to load the modules turn by turn. So let's create a new module. So for that, we are going to use the same command, ng modules. So here instead of admin, I'm going to say slash user. So this module will be for the users. So I'm going to add that, and same for the component. So in the component also, I have to add this user and module as a user. So I'm going to create a new component inside this module user, and I'm going to pass that module as a user, right? So let's enter that. and this will create us another module named as user. So you in these routes you have to add another path for the user module. So let's add that. So for that I'm going to add a new object, and inside that I'm going to path as empty, and we are going to write down the same load child. So instead of admin you have to say user, user, and here also user module. This will load your user module on this. So here we can see that we have the same path for both the modules. So we have to change for admin. So we can change /admin for the module. So we can add a /admin for the admin module. So what does this means? This means that on /admin, we are going to load this admin module. For the empty path, we will load this user module. So let's try this in the browser. So before going to browser, let's rerun our Angular server. So before seeing the output, we have to make two changes. First will be, we have to remove this slash. We just have to keep the name of the path, and this slash will be added by Angular itself. And if you remember, we haven't added anything in the user routing. So we have to tell, right? So when we are loading this user module, what we have to load inside this. So it will be totally similar to admin routing. So in the admin routing, we have defined that for the path empty, we have to load this admin component. So similarly, in the user routing module also, we have to pass the path. So here also, let's pass a path, and for the component, we have to show the user component, which we have to import. So let's import that. So import from /user component, and here also just you have to import the user component, and user component we have to pass inside this component. So this will load this component for ourselves. So now we are ready to see the output. Let's go to the browser. So in the browser, you can see there are no slash over here, and user works is loaded. So that means that user module has been loaded over here. So once I change the path, which if I add a /admin over here, then you can see the admin works is loaded over here, which means this is the admin module loaded. And you have to keep in mind that when I load this admin, only that admin module is loaded in the browser, and it doesn't load the user module, and that will decrease the load of an web application. So that is the power of lazy loading and using a module in your application. I hope you enjoyed and learned from this video. Before leaving, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, hit the subscribe button as well as the notification button, so that for the next time when I'm going to upload any new video on Angular or any JS framework, you will get notified. Happy coding everyone. See you in the next video.